Hello and welcome to all the sellers and vendors and everyone who wants to become one. Today I have a special guest from pacvue. It's Dylan. Hello, Dylan. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Stephen. Yeah, great to meet you. Thank you so much for having us. Really excited to be here and share a little bit more about pacvue.
Please give our attendees some information, who you are and what is pacvue. Yeah, something about all the company and what is your part in this company.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna share my screen just for a second. I think it's helpful just to have a couple
Yeah.
of slides to guide us through a bit more about what pacvue is and what we sort of are doing in this industry that we're innovating in. So for those of you who've seen us for a while, you may have seen our old branding, and we've recently switched over to a whole new logo. We've joined the both assembly and pacvue teams as one brand under pacvue, and we're also supporting our smaller to mid-sized businesses through our sister company Helium 10. So pacvue and Helium 10 are sister companies. We work very closely together, and we're supporting Amazon sellers and vendors who are just starting out in the small to mid-size range, all the way up to large enterprise brands who are managing thousands of campaigns and ASINs via pacvue. So to give you a little bit of an introduction as to who pacvue is, you may recognize some of these faces. They're constantly posting on LinkedIn, and Melissa is our founder and president of pacvue. Definitely worth giving her a follow on LinkedIn. Very knowledgeable on Amazon and up to date with the latest Amazon technology and trends. So we're following. A lot of our team is ex-Amazon, ex-Microsoft, ex-Google. So we've brought together the best minds in the industry to really craft a product that is on the cutting edge of retail media, analytics, and e-commerce, but also in this whole new category, which we're calling commerce acceleration. As you can see, we're used by some of the biggest brands and agencies in the world. Of course, Stefan, you're very familiar with our company and use our product very frequently. And we've got a great coverage. So it's not only for Amazon, but this is across the board. Whether you're advertising on Bol.com or through one of the major retailers like Carrefour or MediaMart, which you're using Citrus or Criteo on, we have this accessibility via our API partnership. So I think that gives a good context. As I mentioned earlier, we're a commerce acceleration platform. So we're helping these large enterprise brands who are working on Amazon on a day-to-day basis, managing hundreds or thousands of campaigns and ASINs. And we help them to discover new opportunities, activate their sales growth, and really guide their business forward. And we do that by helping them increase incrementality, profitability, and market share, which are the main three that every brand or agency should really be thinking about when they first come on Amazon. They start spending money on Amazon via advertising. They should think about, how is this going to help my business grow, but also, am I doing it in a way where each of my ASINs are still profitable, and am I doing it in a way that is sustainable? So is my stock, is my inventory in stock? Am I advertising the right products? There's a lot of revenue leakage that happens, a lot of missed opportunities in this space, and unfortunately, with the macroeconomic environment being so difficult at the moment, profitability is a big talking point. And it's really important to make sure that you're not just spending money on products which can't actually make you money. And I think that's where pacvue and pacvue commerce and ads is really exciting. So I know a very long and lengthy introduction, but I think that gives a lot of good context as to who pacvue is, what our product and solution suite can do, and how we can support vendors out there. Vendors and sellers, I should say. So both 1P and 3P, which is obviously very exciting.
Yeah, thank you so much for that overview. It's very cool. We as an agency we are using pacvue. I think it's a half year, and it's very exciting because you get so deep insights of some parts of optimization and advertising. We only use it for Amazon. But there is a huge range. Maybe you can tell me something about more specific. What is growing at the moment in the US? I think Walmart is a good point to start with.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've seen tremendous growth over the last couple of years in retail media and retail media networks. Obviously here in Europe, we're seeing a lot of growth, the likes of bol.com, which is a smaller marketplace in, the Netherlands and Belgium, but we're now seeing the likes of the major retailers developing their own platform. We've seen that Carrefour is signed with Publicis Group, and they're developing something together that is going to go live later in the year. So very exciting things. I think in the States, Walmart is a huge opportunity. That Amazon or Walmart advertising business is growing very rapidly. The functionality on the Walmart platform is great. We've recently, launched new functionality there, and are also hoping to bring on our commerce product onto Walmart eventually. So there's a lot of moving parts there. But Amazon still remains, the bread and butter of most brands, most agencies. It's where you're just going to get the most traffic, even though some of those other marketplaces are growing. I think just sharing a couple of other points, just maybe on the industry. I think we've learned in the last 5 years since pacvue has been a business, that the major challenges, and commerce is obviously very complex. There are a number of different teams that have to work together internally with the brand. You're communicating on 2, sometimes maybe 3 platforms on Amazon if you're not using pacvue. So to be able to consolidate all of that and bring your commerce, your advertising, supply chain all into one place, I think is where we see the industry going, and we're certainly building out our functionality within our suite to address that. So you'll see obviously complexity leading to wasted spend, lost revenue, and just a lot of hours lost. And where we really see ourselves playing is in this integrated solution suite of both commerce plus ads. So all of your information that you're getting from seller or vendor central about the profitability of your products, your inventory that you have available, all of your ticketing and which is done, or dispute management which is done, that can be managed directly on pacvue's platform. And we integrate the data that we get from commerce and from vendor or seller central into our advertising suite. What that allows us to then do is the advertising decisions and strategy that you're developing is based on real-time data from Amazon, and we can understand very granular details about who is in that audience, where they're entering the journey. Are they more susceptible to sponsored brand versus sponsored product or display? So I think having the right data is so key to making all of this work. And I think what pacvue really does well is consolidating that data from all platforms and all solutions within Amazon. I'll just show you this because I think this really brings home the point. Amazon is obviously one vendor that we work with. We also have integrations with Walmart, with Instacart, with Target. And we've also started branching out and integrating with the likes of Nielsen IQ, Profitero, and Data Impact, because we want to bring all of that data under one roof and make it simple for our clients to be able to use that data and make it actionable. So by having this data in one place, we can then apply machine learning, which we have incredible capabilities in, and our team is working very closely with the teams at OpenAI to do some interesting work there using the likes of ChatGPT. Obviously, we saw Amazon just release something similar last week, so it's super cool to see. But we're providing a lot of these data-driven insights, so it's no longer just hey, you have a problem here, but it's, hey, you have a problem here. Let's deploy ticketing automation to go and manage all of those dispute claims for you. And that helps you drive, profitability, and also obviously guarantees that revenue growth, which is so key at the moment. I think there's a lot of exciting stuff happening in the space. To your point, just about bringing in all of that data in one place, I'll just pull up one case study really quickly, because I think this shows how having all the data consolidated under one roof with pacvue can really help on that profitability side of things. So you can see here, this is an example from a hardline brand, the very wide range of products in their catalog. But what they needed to do was combine information from their supply chain logistics and provide that information into their advertising. And what we helped do was, improve margins in this, improve promotional effectiveness by 14%, which was really important. As you were saying earlier, advertising the right brand or the right product, making sure that you actually have inventory and that you're winning the buy box. all of those things are so important to making sure that you're maximizing revenue. But I think the biggest issue that we solved here for this brand was time saved just on dispute resolution. So very often as a seller or vendor, you're spending, hours each day online trying to get support, trying to get help from Amazon, and disputing a ticket that was raised on your account. So what what pacvue's ticketing automation tool does is it automates that process for you, so that we're automatically opposing that dispute. We're making sure that we're getting those resolved. And for this particular brand, it saved them 1,500 hours. And that was in a short space of time. So I think this is true across brands, regardless how big or how smaller of an agency or a seller you are. I think there's a lot of opportunity and money that's being left on the table. And I think it's really important to, as a brand or an agency, go back on your Amazon advertising account and have a look at how many times you advertised a product that was out of stock, or have a look at how many times you advertised without owning the buy box, or where you already owned the buy box and owned organic market share. It's about being really strategic in your ad dollars that you do have to spend. And now you don't just have Amazon to choose from, you have multiple retailers and multiple channels. So to be able to manage them all from pacvue, I think is really important. And obviously it's worked really well for a number of the brands that we use, and for your agency as well. Yeah. So always great to chat, to users of the platform and hear what they think. And I'd love to know what's your sort of favorite feature on pacvue. What do you use the most on day to day?
Most important for our clients is the monthly data. What happens with their advertising, and we are using the advertising tool, and at the moment there is a more complex dashboard. I think maybe you can show me something from that. You told me about managing the task and communication with Amazon about via pacvue.
Yeah, so if you're using just the advertising product, then you won't have that functionality available. But this feature is available now through our commerce product. So you can sign up for both ads and commerce, and that's where you're able to integrate the data and do ticketing automation. But I'll just show you just what that maybe looks like, so you can see. Sorry, let me just find the page for you.
That would be also cool, because here are some other agencies, also Amazon advertising agencies, joining the summit, and I think it's very useful also for other agencies to use pacvue in this part.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a huge part of it. Sorry, I'm just struggling to find the exact one that I want to show you. But it makes a huge difference being able to do that ticketing automation, and we've seen a lot of brands just save huge amounts of money from it. Because I mean, as an agency, if you're doing full service management of an Amazon store for someone, your agency is spending a couple of hours a day at least on ticket resolution for and that makes scaling really challenging, right, as an agency. So I think that's where this is super exciting, and we're testing it out in the market. It's still relatively new here in Europe, but we're seeing some really good success with some very big brands. But I think for smaller 3P sellers, it's also a huge opportunity there.
Yeah. As you told me, we have some clients. There's communication with Amazon are about 20 hours sometimes per week in these communications, and yes, for sure most of the clients have fixed amounts that they want to pay per month and don't want to pay extra communication with Amazon, but it's a problem to communicate this. But to solve a problem, it's sometimes so difficult, and
it can be. And I think on the seller side, where you don't have a brand or account manager, I think not having a direct person you can reach out to is challenging. But obviously millions of sellers on Amazon. So I can understand the challenge of trying to support that infrastructure. But I think that's where, the tool and the automation side of things is interesting, because hopefully it removes some of that headache from you as a seller, and you can do it straight through pacvue.
Yeah, that's interesting. And how do we can arrange a workthrough to this tool? Just
So I'll
beside
send you,
this,
I'll send you a calendar invite. Let's set up some time to go through the commerce tool. It's, like I said, very new. There only a handful of clients that are using it at this point in Europe, but it's going to grow very, very quickly. I think it's been well received by the market, and there's a lot of opportunity for it. Yeah, I really appreciate you doing this and inviting us. I'm sorry we couldn't get anyone else to join us for today, but it was a good discussion. I enjoyed chatting with you, and I really hope that it's helpful for the viewers, who watch it. Yeah, Stephen, thanks so much for having us on the AMZ online summit. It's great to represent pacvue here and talk a little bit more about our product. I definitely encourage everyone to check out pacvue.com as well as Helium 10 and learn more about the suite and what we can do. And definitely keep working with great agencies out there like yourselves.
Yeah, thank you so much.